Okay, now look over here. Okay, so let's say we'll be discussing this guy. We have already discussed, but for some of you, in case you still haven't understood, so we are making this video for you. Okay, so let's say the question says P is already given to me as 2 minus root 3 over 2 plus root 3, and Q is given as 2 plus root 3 over 2 minus root 3. And these are the questions, 6 questions that they've asked to find this. And find P squared, Q squared, P plus Q, P minus Q, P squared plus Q squared, and P squared minus Q squared. So in this type of question, the first thing is whatever is the value of P that is given to you, we'll have to first rationalize to get the new value of P, or the actual value of P. So this is the P that we have, we rationalize it. So to rationalize, we copy the question as it is, and then we multiply by the same values of the denominator. It's just that if I have a plus, I'll have to put a minus over here, and whatever I write over here, we have to write the same thing at the top also. And then if you look carefully, this is in the form of the second formula. Okay, we have a minus a second formula, so it's first squared plus second squared minus 2 into first into second, and down we have a plus and a minus, so it's a third formula, so it's first squared minus the second square. So and then this root and square gets cancelled, so I get a 4 plus 3 minus 2. These two are a partner, 2 2s are 4, and I get a root 3 over 4 minus 3. And then these two are a partner, 7 minus 4 root 3, and down I get a 1. So ultimately we don't have to write 1. P is equal to 7 minus 4 root 3. So that's the actual value of P. So this is what I will have to use in my sums. Okay, in a similar manner, Q is given to me as this in the question. Again, just like P. So we need to get the actual value of P by rationalizing it. Okay, and then whatever answer of P that we get at the end after rationalizing, this is what we will have to use when we are finding P squared, when we are doing a P plus Q or P minus Q, or all these values. So we'll have to use this value of P, not the question's value. So similarly for Q also, we'll have to rationalize to get the actual value of Q. So Q is equal to this much. So when we rationalize, just like the previous one, like P, so we look at the denominator, this is a minus, we'll have to multiply it by the same values with a plus, whatever we write over here, same thing. Now the top is a plus, so the first formula will be applicable. First formula is first square plus second square plus 2 into first into second, and down again we have different signs, so the third formula will be applicable. Square and root, this will get cancelled, we get 2 squared is 4, root 3 squared we get a 3, plus these two are a partner, 2 2s is a 4 root 3, and down we get 4 squared minus 3. And then now when I solve this, 4 plus 3 gives me a 7 plus 4 root 3 divided by 1. So 1 we don't have to write, so Q is equal to 7 plus 4 root 3. So this is what we got the actual value of Q. Now whether we are finding Q squared, whether we are doing a P plus Q, P minus Q, all these we'll have to use this value of Q, not this value. So now we'll have to use the new value of P and the new value of Q to solve all these questions. Okay, now the first question says find P square. Okay, so we have to find P squared, but we've already got the value of P as 7 minus 4 root 3. I said this is what we'll use. So we'll have to use 7 minus 4 root 3, and it's a square, so more than one inside a bracket, and I do a square. So we will not use this value, we'll have to use this new value of P, and then we square it, and this is in the form of what? There is a minus and there's a square, means it's the second formula. So first squared plus this entire thing is the second, and this is the first, so second squared minus 2 into the first into second. Now 7 squared is 49. Now when I solve this, okay, I've already told you, so when I solve this, now this square is for this 4 also, is square is for root 3 also. So when I do it, I write 4 square and I write a root 3 square. So 4 square is 16, this will get cancelled, and I get a 3 into 16 will give me a 48, and that is what we have written. So this entire thing gives me a 48. Okay, now when we are multiplying this, now this also doesn't have a root, this also doesn't have a root, this also doesn't have a root, these three will get multiplied. So 7 2s are 14, 14 into 4 will give me a 56, and the root 3 as it is. And now these two are a partner, so when I add them I get a 97 minus 56 root 3. So that's the answer of, this is the answer of P square. So my P square is equal to this much. So this I've already explained to you over here. So this is how we get the answer 48. Okay, so what you can also do is you can also go ahead and do it in the rough, and whatever answer you get ultimately, that is what you put over here. Okay, now the second question, it says find q squared. Now q, we have already got it as a 7 plus 4 root 3. So that is what I put over here, 7 plus 4 root 3. And it says a square, so I do a square. And again, this is like p only. So what we'll have to do, but there is a plus in between. So we'll have to use the first formula. So first square plus the entire thing is the second square plus 2 into first into second. And this now I've already explained it to you. 4 root 3, if I have to solve this, I do it in this manner. And then it's a 4 square, it's a root 3 square, root and root gets cancelled, 16 3 is a 48. So we write over here, we get 97 plus 56 root 3. That's the answer of my q square. Okay. Now the third question over here, it says get a p plus q. Now we've already got the p's answer as this much, 7 minus 4 root 3. So p, we put a 7 minus 4 root 3 and more than one, it's in a bracket, plus q. What have we got the value, new value of q? We have got a 7 plus 4 root 3. So these are the two answers that I'll use over here. So p is this much plus q is this much. So now I have to open the bracket, 7 minus 4 root 3 as it, plus into plus is a plus, plus into plus is a plus. So we get this much. Now if you look carefully, this is a 4 root 3 and with a minus. This is also a 4 root 3 but with a plus. So we have the exact same thing, but one is a minus, one is a plus. So they get cancelled out. So once they get cancelled out, we are left with a 7 plus 7 and that gives us a 14. So if we have the exact same values and if one sign is a minus, one is a plus, they get cancelled. Okay, and then we get 14. Okay, now the next question, it says is get a p minus q. So in just like we have done a p plus q, we had this is p, this is q. We'll put the same values of p, same values of q, but now in between there'll be a minus. So when I open the bracket, minus into plus is a minus, minus into plus is a minus, we get this. Now if you look carefully, this 7 is a plus 7 and this 7 is a minus 7. One is a plus, one is a minus, they get cancelled. And I'm left with a minus 4 root 3, minus 4 root 3. Now in the previous one where we had plus, p plus q, one was a minus, one was a plus. That's why they got cancelled. And the 7 did not get cancelled because they were same sign. Over here, we have 7 with different signs, so they get cancelled. Whereas minus 4 root 3 and minus 4 root 3, they have the same signs. That's why they do not get cancelled. So now how do I solve this? So when you're adding them, just ignore the root 3. Just imagine that the root 3 is not there. So just imagine minus 4 and minus 4 is there. So if I just imagine minus 4 and minus 4, what will happen? The common sign comes in the answer, that is minus 8. Okay, and then the root 3 was there in both of them, so we write in the answer root 3 also. Okay, so just to get the 8 and the minus, we just imagine root 3 does not exist. At the end, when I get the answer before the root, okay, you write that, and at the end, whatever was the root, just write next to it. So we have minus 8 root 3 as the answer for my p minus q. Okay. The fifth question is p squared plus q squared, and the next question was, the sixth question was p squared minus q. One is a plus, one is a minus. So now we already have the answer of p squared. We have p squared as this much, okay, and we have q squared as this much. So we have already the answer of p squared is this, and we have q squared as this much. So now, just like the previous one, what we do is we put the value of p squared. P squared was 97 minus 56 root 3. We had already got that. Plus q squared was 97 plus 56 root 3, and then we have plus. Again, I open the bracket, I get this much. So if I look carefully, this is a minus, this is a plus, they get cancelled. We get 97 plus 97, we get 994. Okay, now in the other one, the last one, they said p squared minus q squared. So again, we put the same values of p squared and q squared which we have got earlier, but there is a minus, so minus into plus is a minus, minus into plus is a minus. Now 97 and 97 gets cancelled because this is a plus, this is a minus, whereas these two have the same sign, they leave as it is. So just like before, so both of them have root 3. Imagine root 3 does not exist, so in the rough it's like a minus 56, common sign comes, and then when I add, I get 112, and then minus 112, and I write the root 3 as it is. So that is how we solve the questions on p plus q, p squared, q squared, all that. So the first thing, the most important thing is to go ahead and rationalize the value of the p and the q that has been given. And once we get the rationalized value of p and q, that is what we would use in the sum to solve all the questions. Is that okay? That's it.